Hello and welcome back to another SHOEBOX how-to video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how to manage patients in the SHOEBOX platform. When you first log into the platform, you will land on the patient list page. This is where you will be doing the majority of your patient management. If you navigate away from this page, you can click on the patient list icon in the main menu to return here. On the patient list page, a list of all the patients currently in your center will appear here on the left. The patient list will indicate the name and age of each patient, status, which is an indicator of what stage the customer is at in their hearing health journey, and the date of the last activity performed on the patient. Additionally, the speech bubble icon indicates that additional notes or comments have been left by a user on the patient's file. Hovering over the speech bubble will reveal the notes that were left. Now let's take a look at how to add a new patient. Clicking on the plus icon located here will open the new patient interface. From here, you can add all of the patient's information. First name, last name, and date of birth are all mandatory. You can set the patient status manually. Discovery is the default that new patients start with. Once you're done, clicking on the Add button will add the patient, and you will be automatically taken to the new patient's folder page. When creating a new patient from scratch, their folder page will be mostly empty. As you perform tests and other activities with the patient, their folder page will become more populated. Clicking on the pencil icon in the patient's folder will allow you to edit the patient's basic information, and add additional information as well. If you need to delete a patient for any reason, you can click on the trash can icon located here to delete the patient. If the patient wears hearing aids, you can add the model of the hearing aids they wear to their profile here. You can also add any additional comments or notes regarding the patient using this section here. Alternatively, you can click on Comments located here. This text entry bar here will allow you to add comments to the patient's history. For example, if you need to add context or clarification to an activity or test performed on the patient, or need to make a custom note about the patient's actions, such as not showing up for a test or calling to cancel an appointment. The comments section here is meant for more general notes for the patient, such as special needs or concerns. By clicking on the folder icon located here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can open the patient's folder menu. From here, you can add case history and fitting questionnaires to the patient's folder. Let's start with case history. Clicking on the AN button will add a case history questionnaire to the patient's folder. The case history is intended to be filled out with the patient before testing them, in order to organize their medical history. There are 4 pages of questions and their associated response fields that you can fill in as needed with the patient. The fitting questionnaire can be added similarly by clicking on the folder menu and then clicking on the FT button. The fitting questionnaire is structured similarly to the case history and is meant for assisting customers with the process of hearing aid fitting. One final note: for customers that have questionnaires on file that have been filled out, a useful tip is to use the eye icon located here to filter these sections to only display questions that have been answered by the patient. We recommend using this filter for completed questionnaires to keep these sections clean and uncluttered. These comments will be reflected on the patient list page as well, by hovering over the speech bubble icon. To get back to the patient's folder, you have several different options. You can click on the patient's name in the patient list if they aren't already selected as the active patient, which is indicated here on the patient avatar panel. The active patient's info will be displayed here. To change the active patient, simply click on the row of the patient you wish to set as active. If the patient whose folder you want to view is active, you can click on the patient's avatar panel to access the patient's folder, or use the main menu to navigate to the patient folder icon and click on that to access the patient's folder. Clicking on the magnifying glass will reveal a window that offers a high-level look at the patient's most recent results. The new patient we just created has no results to show. If we click on the magnifying glass for one of the other demo patients, however, we can see that some tests have been performed on the patient already. Clicking on the graph in the window will open up the patient's folder page and will automatically jump to the results section for the graph that you clicked on. This patient's folder is a good example of what a patient's folder might look like after they have been tested. Notice the otoscopy results, pure tone and speech results, and case history. For more information on patient results management, be sure to check out our video on managing patient results. And that summarizes everything you need to know about how to manage patients on the SHOEBOX platform. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, click below to subscribe. For more information and content related to learning about SHOEBOX, follow the links on screen or visit our online knowledge base at help.shoebox.md.